Hi, this is West, me and my camera.
Fireball summer, honeymoon lovers, seeing no colors. Love me all summer, making discovers under your covers.
And hello and welcome again to Windmill in Amsterdam. Here today we have Fabulous versus the Seagulls. I am your host, Corey Sostray, teamed up with Benji Reese. And as we cut to it, it looks like Fabulous has scored the first point here. But a great game so far we're going to have. I know both of these teams, I guess, pretty well, seeing Fabulous last week in the Swiss National Champs and then seeing Seagulls play earlier today. But we're going to be in for a treat. How are you feeling, Benji? I know you've had some back-to-backs going on, so you're running through them.
Stoked. I'm stoked. As much as I love Swiss draw, and as we all know, all hail the mighty algorithm, etc., 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 it's going to be a good game. These sides, not too much between them in terms of Swiss draw rankings, coming in 4th and 5th seeds. And the winner of this plays the winner of Prima Donna Girls versus Panthers.
And it's going to be very exciting, too, as we saw last week in the Swiss National Championships. Fabulous pulling it out on Universe Point against Zurich Ultimate, and they actually have some of the Zurich Ultimate team members, I should say, on this team as well, too. So they are very strong, very skilled, and on the other side with the Seagulls, they are very skilled as well, too. Playing yesterday, having a great game, I should say, as well. So 4 and 5, you couldn't get any better than this.
Which game did you? Was that them versus 3SB?
I believe so, yes.
The one that ended in a draw?
Yes.
Very unsatisfyingly.
It was exciting nonetheless, but yeah, it was Swiss draw has its drawbacks, but overall I like the system a lot here. As we see the Seagulls pulling it up the field, looking for some options, seeing if they can get to midfield right here. Seawald with the disc. Chucks it down deep. And will they get there? It's going to stay in. It is out, but it's called by Fabulous anyway. It's a transition.
It's always tricky when you're shooting down the sideline because your players have to stay in bounds. Defenders, they don't give a damn about the sideline. They can just go up and attack it as they did there.
And Siri here, Childress with the disc here. Continue to swing it along, and it is thrown out of bounds. Intended for Pacifico right there. And now the Seagulls have another opportunity with Seawald walking to pick up the disc.
Yeah, Shank just put far too much on that. Could have done with just a little bit more finesse.
Some people might say a little bit too much mustard for your hot dog. Honestly, I don't know.
I mean, mustard on a hot dog doesn't sound particularly Swiss, but sure.
As we see here, Seawald crossing the halfway point, trying to see if they can get on the scoreboard as well for a hold. Disc is moving around. And it is pulled up. Fabulous gets there anyway as they snag it out. Fab moving it up. And it's just out of the reach too.
Yeah, looking for Niederhauser, but a little bit too far. So both sides having a couple of problems early. Oh, hello. A spicy little scuba there from Seawald.
You can see Seawald just being one of the main handlers for the Seagulls now, taking control of the disc for this O-line. But that's not to take away from anybody else in this team, as they all have the abilities and capabilities to do it. Prunes throws it up line, and now the Seagulls are waiting with temptation in the red zone. Prunes throws it across, and it is caught as Seagulls hold to take it 1-1.
Yeah, not clean. They gave Fab a couple of opportunities, but both times they're able to turn it back. And Svenja Prunes, who's often such a talisman for Seagulls, doing the business there. Perfectly weighted put to the end zone for the goal.
And a better, I guess, cut too from Camila, just to know when to come out the back of the stack for the score, as she looked pretty wide open from a great throw, honestly, from Prunes there.
Just has a look at it, and then, as you say, perfectly weighted. Defenders trying to close, but always a couple of steps behind. So both sides looking fairly even at the start of this game.
Love the Swiss draw. As we see, it goes around a little bit past the brick mark here as Fab pick up the disc and are ready to go. Looking for options here. Looks like a sort of a side stack look from there. They finally make it past halfway, and it's chucked downfield. Can they get there? Seagulls snatch it out of the air. Not today, but they're in Cali territory here. Seagulls with an opportunity to break right now. Foot in the air. Waiting patiently. Throws it across. No mark there at all. But the Seagulls are having difficulty beating this Fab defense right here as the pick is called.
Yeah, I don't think it affected this throw, but it's just going to bring a temporary stopping to proceedings. When you've got that free player, I just like to hit them nice and early and then use that player as a like a trampoline almost and constantly bounce the disc off them. As this deep shot looking for Prunes is going to be too far.
I completely agree with you. I think Felix also agrees here, just kind of using that person to kind of get the disc back, maybe do a little bit of dribbling here. Unfortunately, Felix is not here to listen to our commentary. Maybe later he will. He can put in one of his shorts. But as we see Fab pick up the disc now. Looking for an option as they get it to the brick mark. Are they going to tuck it deep? Yes, they do! And it is slung downfield, but it is out of bounds. It looks like it was intended for Kappelman.
Yeah, Kappelman was burning deep, but rather than hit her, just hit that pile of pallet woods that's going to end up on the fire this evening.
I see what you did there. Burning deep, Flying Angels of Berne, huh?
Oh, that was the other. That was a double pun. Sure, I totally meant that. 100%.
So we see here the Seagulls with some opportunities to walk the disc up, and they start about the brick as well, brick level, I should say.
I do love the Herbie-shaped brick marks. It's a really nice touch.
It is. And it's another slaying downfield. Both of these teams looking just to sling it down, but it goes out of bounds for the Seagulls.
Yeah, it looked like it was good for a moment, but then rather than curl back in, it just tipped over to go a little bit more inside out and drifted out of the sideline. But both sides have come out with a huck-happy attitude, I think I'd say.
I agree with you, as it's starting to pick up a little bit windy here. I think on the throw there wasn't much wind, but now it's starting to get windy, so maybe some tactics, riding the waves.
I mean, I'm not complaining.
Oh, not at all, no. It's a hot one again in Amsterdam. Just happy to be here.
It's most welcome, actually. Wow, just about zipped that through.
And layout just too short, but Fabulous are going to take advantage of it. It's going to stick in the ground. It's stuck, and that is Fab with the hold 2-1.
It's Laura Hostetler, I think, with the grab. Maybe the smallest player on the pitch going deep for the score. You love to see it. These sides, I mean, the way they're coming out firing, you know, they're looking for these expansive shots. They're throwing themselves around on defense. I'm not going to lie, this game's going to be hype.
It is. I'm excited for it again. Just seeing both these teams not afraid to chuck it down deep. Like we've talked about plenty of times, we love to see deep shots, especially ones that are converted like that. To Hostler, who's arguably one of the shorter players on the team, on the pitch maybe, getting a deep throw for a score to work hard.
Yeah, going deep isn't just about getting your biggest players and sending them long. It's about other things. It's about boxing out. It's about timing. It's about how you angle those cuts. And Hostetler actually didn't need to do that much boxing there, but again, just timed it perfectly, so when the handler's looking up, that deep cut's already got a bit of separation, and it's so inviting to put that. And these two teams do not really need a second invitation.
Not at all. As we see Childers chucking it downfield, and the Seagulls avoid catching the pole, but have some time here as Berne is still fighting to get down the field. Seawald. Back to Seawald. And they're moving it around. The Seagulls trying to get to halfway point, and it's a hammer right to the camera. And it's another deep shot here. Maybe a 1v1, 2v1. None v none. Oh, and it's almost a catch there.
Gotta catch your D's, otherwise that'll happen.
And Fabulous just lucky not to have the double chance caught for the score as they move on the break.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether that put from Jakobsen was the best decision necessarily, but she's got an eye for it.
And it's chucked down deep again, and it is converted as Fabulous go with the first break of the game here.
Yeah, Serena Schenk streaking towards the back of the end zone, catching it in stride for the break, and the 3-1 lead. Again, what you're seeing is these two teams, they're playing a pretty similar style in that they're happy to take the expansive shots. They're happy to throw the overheads and the longs. This one, experienced Hauser can only tip in, and it is very nearly caught Leia picking up the trash, but she couldn't do it. And then O-line, D-line, doesn't matter. If either of these teams have a player in a position to put it deep, I'd be ready and waiting for it. Honestly, it would not surprise me to see these two teams change things a little bit defensively, maybe have someone to sit off the back, perhaps, just ready and waiting, keeping an eye on those handlers, so that if a deep cut goes, you've got that, either the switch there or the help defender.
And that's what I was thinking too, maybe have somebody in the back of the stack, poach a little bit, maybe sag, so that way, like you said, just can't be ripping off shots to the back, but either way, these teams are gonna figure it out. The Seagulls gonna see if they can hold here as the disc is going. Maybe the disc wants to go take a break in the hammock. Doesn't sound like a bad day on this nice sunny, windy day here in Amsterdam.
It does not. The other quarterfinals in the women's division, Scram up 2-1 on 3SB. Enreladers and Belgian women do not have a score update from that yet, and also do not have a score update at the moment from Prima Donnas versus Panthers, and the winner of this game will play the winner of that.
So we see here they elect to take the brick, the Seagulls, and an interesting formation. I'm not sure what was kind of going on there. It looked like people were kind of spread out along the lines. Either way, Fabulous is going to take it, and they're waiting to get it about the halfway mark. Ringenberger, and that looks like Seagulls are calling it out.
Yeah, looking for Azra Avdukic on this sideline, and not contesting it in the end.
Didn't even have to go to VAR for that one, Benji.
Have another look at it. I think that is quite comfortably out in the end. Receiver just let them too far out, maybe looking at the wrong line perhaps. Masha Sevald will pick up.
Sewald looking around, trying to find options. Gets it here. Gets the disc back, Sewald. As they look. Seagulls are about halfway. They really need this hole to stick within the game, but that's not what they needed as a quick turn.
Yeah, Dossinger was looking for the throw and go, and got the go, but just not really the throw.
And the wind might have helped that one be a little bit leveraged more, but the position is great, and there is another break for Fabulous going up 4-1, I believe, Benji.
It is indeed. Yannicka Kappelman on the reception. Yeah, you could see the effect that the wind is having there, kind of pushing it and making it up and down, maybe holding it slightly, giving the defender a chance to close that gap slightly, but Kappelman didn't seem phased in the slightest, and Seagulls a little bit rocked here, choosing to take the timeout.
Side Murphy, and then floats that one out. Huge bid, gets the touch. What a grab! DV!
Help Electric, become a member.
And we are back after some sick promotional videos from the Ulti TV crew here. Again, if you like us here in Windmill, check us out next week at the London Invite. It's going to be great. We're going to have a lot of fun there. Great teams, great competitions right before even more competitions happen. So you can check us out there as we get ready for the Seagulls to come back on offense.
Yeah, the best way to follow it all is to make sure that you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're just about 40 subscribers away from 10,000, and we'd love to hit that ready for finals day tomorrow.
How many?
10,000. Well, nearly.
Wow. 10,000? Please help us on this journey.
Yeah, you can be a part of it by subscribing to the YouTube channel, or by becoming a patron from as little as the price of beer, the price of a pint of beer a month. Got there in the end. 33 subscribers we need. There we go. Seagulls playing on from that salacious little scuba, but down the sideline it's overshot.
And another opportunity there for Fabulous to convert a break. The turns just keep coming for Fabulous.
Tell you what, if they could put this in here, that's a huge mental blow for Seagulls, taking the time out and still getting broken.
If you can imagine that. Again, usually timeouts work in that favor, but Pacifico to Childress is not going to allow that to happen. And Childress hasn't a whole lot of skills in her arsenal. As you can see there, almost a buttery catch.
It's Niederhauser who's the intended target. This is a look with some spice. If we're looking at Scoville units, we're not at the high end, but maybe like some jalapeno level.
I like that. That was a beautiful throw right there. And it was, I believe, contested, huh?
Yeah, I think the resolution is a contested foul. So it's going to go back here to Jasmine Childress.
And as we see here, too, the Seagulls want to quickly resolve resolutions, or conflicts, I should say, excuse me, because time is a factor here as they have a wall to climb, down 3 points.
And they're fighting it to the end zone again. This one is going to be comfortably out of bounds.
I think maybe it was that double line kind of confusion there, Benji. It looked like he was trying to leap into the end zone, but it was far on that second cone instead of the first one. Regardless, power position, winding up. Not going to take it, though. Prunes looks to throw it back to the middle around the brick mark for the Seagulls. And the Seagulls flowing pretty well right now on this possession. Cuts coming back. Prunes in the end, the set. Seagulls still get it out. Grisher throws it back to Prunes. Grisher looking for the disc now. Getting out of the handler set. Prunes in trouble, looking at the dump. It's up, and it's good.
Yeah, just stayed with that long enough until eventually she uncovered.
And Prunes throws it to the end zone, and the Seagulls convert on that hold, and the timeout proves to be worthy.
That was huge. Getting that disc back after the turn was huge. And then Prunes running the show afterwards can be such an inspirational figure. Seagulls were a part of my favorite game that I've ever commentated back in 2018, the European Beach Ultimate Club Championships in Castelldefels, just outside Barcelona in Spain. They had a monstrous comeback in the women's final, and it was thanks to players like Svenja Prunes just taking over the game, and a beautiful lead pass there into the end zone for the goal.
Sounds like a nice time to be, honestly.
It was. I'll be honest, at the end of that tournament, I cried because it was just so much. It was just a lot, you know?
Yep.
You ever have games like it, it's just like, wow, that was a lot.
Yeah, no, I understand. It's
so
just a thing of beauty, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. But obviously, I have no biases in this game. I just want some good, exciting ultimate.
I do too, but Benji, I see goals, as we saw in the chat there earlier too.
Seagulls trying to manufacture their first break.
And it looks like they're going to use the wind to their advantage and come out in the zone here.
I like this. Throw something a little bit different at a Fabulous O-line that hasn't seen the field for a couple of points.
keep them on their toes here. As Fabulous are creeping it up here. We're about halfway now. And they're still moving it, facilitating the disc. Still within the zone, the Seagulls are, but they're taking it a lot slower, Fabulous are.
Yeah, there's a lot of deliberation. Like, when they make a throw, they want to be certain it's the right option.
And a hammer over the top, and it's between two players, and it worked.
Yeah, I think maybe a miscommunication. One of them just needed to be clearer about putting a name on it, but both of them thought, well, the other player's there. So Kunzelman will pick up now for Seagulls, trying to power this D-line to a break.
Kunzelman throws into space, but it's a snag anyway for the Seagulls to get across halfway, and the D-line has an opportunity here for a break conversion as they move it into the red zone. Patiently waiting here. Kunzelman, hammer time, and it's caught! That is a catch for a score, and that's a Seagulls break. That is 2 points in a row to go 3-4.
I'll be honest, I didn't think that hammer was that open, but Kunzelman had other ideas, and you know, credit where it's due, fair play. She nailed the precision placement with it. Just about gets it past the defender. You see, coming across the field, slashing there. Wow. I mean, never any doubts, and there is a defender close, but the catch is really well taken. So Seagulls just the one behind now at 4-3. We got a game on our hands, Corey.
We really do there, and Morri getting the score there to have the concentration for the hammer. With the vision from Kunzelman there to throw that hammer. Again, I'm still in awe what we just saw, but we'll take a conversion there. Evens the score up just about. 3 Seagulls, 4 Fabulous, and Fabulous might be wondering what they're going to come out next.
So as well as the women's semi-finals, we gave you a little score update on those open semi-finals taking place at the moment as well. Maietta up 5-3 on Foy. Chak Mooncatchers tied at 4. Clapham up 6-5 on Flying Angels, the men's side that is, and Is No Good up 5-4 on Chevron on our other showcase pitch.
And honestly, I'm surprised about that Goyota score too. Goyota being the 7th seed, making it within the bracket, showing that they belong there too.
Hashtag upset alert.
Hashtag swag. But as we see Fabulous come here, it's going back to match defense with a poach in the middle here, and it's a hammer to Childress. Childress pondering, looking around. What a throw across the field. Almost a great aversion right there not to collide.
Yeah, Nayes came steaming in and then realized she wasn't going to get there and tried to back out.
As we see here, just still an interesting set from the Seagulls. They're playing match, but it looks like somebody's poaching a little bit off. Maybe give the handler some space and take away some deep throws / cutters in the middle. As Childress has the disc again. Hauser. Back to Hauser.
Hauser's seen it all before. There's nothing here that will be new to her.
As we see Fabulous getting to the halfway mark now, taking their time. Childress wide open over here on the right side of the field. And throws it across the field. Again, just out of the reach, but it's still a catch. And now we see Fabulous right around the red zone here.
Again, Nayes is so tempted to get that one, but credit to Seagulls as well, because they're able to, despite that bid coming through and not getting it, they can recover in time to prevent the quick breakaway.
And he goes back to Childress in that right corner. She's going to take that look. She does. And now the Seagulls are panicking as a hammer goes up in the back. They can't see it. The sun is shining, and it's too much sun for the Seagulls as Fabulous gets the hold to go 3-5.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who the receiver was. Maybe Niederhauser? And Nayes, not for the first time, had a potential play there. But that time, just turning around, just never really located the disc. If she had, it would have been a much trickier catch. But as it is, Fab with the clean hold. Looks a little bit spicy at points, but you could say on the one hand, dicey, on the other hand, well judged. And this time just hammering for the goal to reopen that 2-point advantage at 3-5.
What a game again. I cannot stress that we have here. Seagulls were down 4-1. Take a timeout, rattle off a few points to go 3-4, and the Fabulous just scoring to go 5-3 here. Seagulls looking to hold to continue that 1-point deficit, while Fabulous see if they can get another break to go up by 3.
Yeah, according to Swiss Draw, the almighty algorithm, Seagulls are favourites in this game, but
as we see, always upsets happen here, and that's why we bring it to you on Ulti TV. Fabulous, again, like I said from the Swiss Nationals last week, play to the end and they play hard. They're not champions for nothing. As we see here, the Seagulls getting in some trouble. Fabulous bringing out great, and Prune's leaving her feet to get that dive to keep the possession alive.
she does that, and immediately she's back on her feet running a show again. It's nothing to her.
And some great work here from the Seagulls, and a deep shot there, and it is converted as they continue to move along right in the red zone. They're looking to strike. Trying to find some options here. It's getting a little clogged. Everybody wants the disc. Always a good option. Oh!
Wow, what footwork and good spirit there to immediately signal the goal.
I was about to say, Benji, I saw that real time. You know, I wear glasses for a reason. I can't see well, but I think that was it too. That was pretty nice toe tap swag for that score.
I mean, yeah, firstly, we stand some toe drag swag. Secondly, you're wearing 2 pairs of glasses.
Yes. I can't explain it. Sometimes you just have to have that.
Have you not thought about getting prescription sunglasses?
I have. I actually have the clip-ons, but I left them back in the States.
Disaster.
Very.
Here we are. You see the shot of Prunes leaving her feet to save possession. And then here's the shot across the end zone.
Toe tap swag. That is trademarked right there. That was beautiful. Pure definition of watching where the boundary is for the score, and the Seagulls make it 4-5.
Yeah, they're hanging around in this contest. 5-4 is also the score with 3SB up on Scram. The winner of that game plays the winner of Enrolades and the Belgium women's team. That is tied at 7s. The winner of this game plays the winner of Prima Donna Girls and Panthers Wrocław. And you see it there, Prima Donna Girls currently up 6-4.
And here we are back with Fabulous catching the pole. Sun's kind of coming out right now. It's making it hard to see. The wind's picking up, so the conditions, not a huge factor, but still being somewhat of a factor.
Yeah, when it does pick up, you kind of feel that it's a time for your really superior throwers to take over, and both sides definitely have those.
It's a disc with Hauser here, just continuing to flow it. And again, Seagulls coming out in this interesting zone. Looks like clogging the middle, trying to pin them so they have to throw it across the field. But as we've seen, Fabulous have the ability to throw it across the field, especially with Childress usually being on that right flank.
Yeah, they have the ability to throw it across the field, and they certainly have the ability to throw it down the field as well.
So we see here's some patience from a veteran, experienced, Fabulous handler set now. Hauser still asking for the disc, dishing it back. She's not face. And it is a turn for Seagulls. An immediate pickup. Are they going to look to score? They do, and that is a break. It is 5-5. Tied score. Everything is back level again.
Punched in on the very first pass. I thought for a second that it might have been a Callahan, but came steaming through, left the disc for a teammate to pick up, and then one pass popped into the end zone. We're tied at 5s.
Benji, in my short commentating career, I still have not seen a Callahan yet. I got phrases lined up for it, but nonetheless, Seagulls don't care if it's a Callahan or not. They pick it up immediately, look around, and just shoot it into the end zone for a score for the break. much needed, especially after a 4-1 deficit. Call a timeout. Now it's tied 5-5.
Your Open Division quarterfinals at the moment. Foy and Guayota are level at 5. So are Chevron Action Flash and Is No Good. Chak with a 5-4 lead on Moon Catchers. We streamed their Swiss draw matchup yesterday, so you can go back and watch all the games after this weekend's finished. And actually you can do that now, but just watch the live ones in the meantime on the YouTube channel for free. And Clapham Ultimate up 7-6 on the Flying Angels of Berne Open side.
As we see here, the Flying Angels of Berne now on the women's side have the disc around the brick, seeing if they can compete with this zone again. Seagulls might have found a defensive answer to at least challenge Fabulous not to throw deep shots and use the wind to their advantage.
I mean, you were in Switzerland to watch their Swiss nationals triumph, and it was not without some adversity.
Precisely. I mean, again, the title game came down to universe points, and with Zurich Ultimate were leading for most of the game, if not all the game, if I remember correctly, and Fabulous coming all the way back, taking it to Universe and winning that point. So these women are used to adversity.
Yeah, the cap rule's slightly different today, by the way. If the two sides are, if the difference between the two is less than 2 points, then you play a cap +1 instead. Here's a deep put.
And it's smacked to the ground, almost like a Duncan basketball there. Just Seagulls leaving the feet, tapping it over the head. It looks smooth, I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, Nayas has that height matchup and used it to her advantage well, coming over the top to knock it away.
As we see Seawall just taking her time, kind of letting everything build up, waiting for the formations to happen, seeing what set they can use.
When you're hacking to a smaller receiver, rather than kind of put it under it, you tend to want to put it lower and flatter and give them a chance to box out, perhaps, as that hammer helixes out of Savold's hands.
And that one too might have not been the best decision there from Seawald, throwing a hammer and then the wind just taking it and just smacking it down to the ground. Nonetheless, Fabulous in great field position within this red zone, but they still have a zone to deal with here from Seagulls as they move it around.
Yeah, I will tell you that she wants that one back.
Now we see Seawald getting into the red zone, throwing it through the middle, having great flow here. And it is a score for the catch, and that is a hold for Fabulous, 6-5.
Yeah, just one of those ones where the disc actually doesn't enter the end zone, but it doesn't matter because it's all about that first point of contact, and for Yannicka Kappelman, it's in the end zone.
And as we see here, once they got it to that middle point, it looks like it was just hard for the Seagulls defenders to kind of break that gap again, and Fabulous completely used it to their advantage.
6-5 Fabulous lead in a matchup that's got a bit of a Germanic feel to it.
And that's exactly what we want here. Great frizz, and we're getting great frizz. For us, Benji, I should say, it's fun to fun. But for them, they want to take home the championship here, and you have to start at the beginning of the quarterfinals.
Yeah, for both of these sides, this is why you come to these tournaments, to get these higher level competitions against a fierce, relatively evenly matched top quality opponent with the pressure of now the brackets and, it's knockout stages. So again, that dial is just ratcheted up ever so slightly.
And even then, I might think there might be like a little bit of a streaming, kind of intimidation there as well. Just because it might throw your game off. You can see your folks at home. I know I was talking to my friends in some other tournaments and some other games that were streamed today, and they're like, the pressure. But anyway, Prunes with the disc here. Seagulls on O-line again, seeing if they can tie it 6-6. Prunes looking in the middle. Waves it off. And Seagulls still looking to cross midfield here. Raffenberg goes across, back to Raffenberg.
Yeah, they're having to play in the backfield at the moment because their cutters are struggling to find separation.
And Grisha just looking around for some options. Finds Prunes, of course. Across the middle, wide open, and the Seagulls are looking just to get into the red zone here.
Beautiful break that to Oliveri.
Lindy looking around, maybe Prunes here? Nope. Grisha instead. Grisha looks at Lindy back. It's a little high. Childers climbs the ladder and says, not today.
What a D from Childress, that is.
Oh, right over the head, the elevator there.
Cheeky.
And they continue to flow. Fabulous having an opportunity here. We see almost Raffenberg getting there, but Childers snatches it away.
Injury called, I think.
It looks like maybe an injury to the chest area, I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe the ribs.
Clutching the sides. Yeah, maybe just pulling those intercostal muscles between the ribs, perhaps. We say that, I've got no idea, so.
I don't either. We're not physicians. We're
very much underqualified for that. All we do is just hope that she'll be okay.
Yes. So you see here, airplanes coming through, Hauser with the disc, and we restart. Hauser. Oh, fakes the middle. And these fakes are opening up windows here from Fabulous. People might think the fakes are just for show here, maybe just direct traffic, but they open up the windows because the Seagulls have to respect them. As we see Childress with the disc in the middle, can throw it anywhere on the field with ease. And they're still going here.
It's patient at the moment, this offense now from Fabulous. The Huck-heavy start to this game we've seen has slowed down a little bit.
And maybe not here as Childress looks across the field. Is she going to throw it? She throws it anyway. The vision to have, and it's a score. Childress with maybe 3 assists this game so far, and more importantly, that is a break for Fabulous to go up 7-5.
Yeah, she's having an absolute stormer. Got a D earlier in that point as well. And yeah, Fabulous opening up a little bit of separation again, going up 7-5. You're trying to do something with your hands, I don't get it.
So back what we used to do, we had some players in a region of Virginia, and we go by area code, so they're from the 757, so they would do this thing where they would make a 7 with their finger here.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And then 5 fingers there. So every time it's there, it's just, I don't know, it's instinct at this point.
Is Jasmine Childress from the 757?
I do not believe so, no.
Oh. Well, great. My knowledge of US area codes is pretty limited, as you might understand.
Understandably so.
The only one I know is San Diego.
Is that because it's Cal territory?
619.
Oh,
because of Rey Mysterio.
Hey!
That is, yeah, completely out of nowhere.
What a legend. As we see here, Seagulls between the halfway point, between the brick and the... Nope, doesn't matter. They're between halfway anyway, moving it ever so slightly.
Isolating Kunzelman at the front of that stack, and that cheeky little throw to the break side from Jakobsen, who has the disc back in her hands now.
That one maybe just a miscommunication in the back of the end zone, waiting for a player to go as the player was cutting back into the stack.
Yeah, I think she was locked on to getting Kunzelman in the end zone there, and just, yeah, guilty Babs of not seeing the field as a whole.
Fabulous walking the disc to the front cone. Another opportunity for a break here, but they also have a long way to go. As the disc is tapped in, it's thrown high. Kunzelman smacks it to the ground though, picks it up immediately, scans the field.
No time like the present.
No. Hammer, we know she can throw him, and it gets there anyway, and that is a hold for the Seagulls to go 6-7.
Well, if Jakobsen to Kunzelman's not going to work, why not just go Kunzelman to Jakobsen?
Throw a little flare in there for a hammer too. I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah, the quick pickup. Again, trying to strike while the iron is hot. Jakobsen finds a little space, a soft spot towards the break side in the back of the end zone. And especially when you get into the red zone on calm conditions like this, you get everyone organized, you leave that clear break side. The hammer is such a potent weapon, a way to hit and utilize that space because it avoids any traffic that might be in the middle.
As we see here, just letting you get a little bit of some sounds from the atmosphere of what we're experiencing as well too. We bring the energy, but you can't bring any more energy than what's happening right now on this field. Again, 7-6. Seagulls looking to see if they can break here. but they have to go through Fabulous with a star-studded O-line, as we've seen. And they're going to take it at the brick, I assume?
Yeah, it's always interesting with no wind. You're not worried about being on an upwind or a downwind sideline. And for that much field position, you probably think you'd rather have it in the center. So it makes it easier to attack both sides of the field.
As we see it continue. Oh!
Oh.
In a turn of events there, as it looks like Jasmine Childress might have landed awkwardly on that ankle.
Hope she's okay. She's back up to her feet on her own power. Trying to get that little ice bag activated. Yeah, went to make the catch and just, yeah, maybe landed awkwardly on the ankle.
I believe so, maybe coming down. It looks like it's that left ankle.
Yeah, the turnover's going to stand here, so we'll give Seagulls a chance to break here.
Unfortunate, of course. We always wish the best for her, and that's a big loss for Fabulous now, as the Seagulls looking to get into the red zone and capitalize to tie the score 7-7. Grisha. Contact there. Back to Grisha. And it looks like it's right on the edge as a fake is made. Poach is happening all around. But leaves Raffenberg there, and it's just out of the reach.
Yeah, bladed too early out of the hands because everyone was focused on that front cone. There was the poach open on the right side. The swing was the right call. It was just poorly executed.
And the disc is somehow mysteriously in Hauser's hands as she chucks it on deep. It's a pick called, but nobody catches the disc.
By the way, regardless of what happens here, doesn't Hauser make that throw look so effortless? She it was barely a flick of the wrist.
Exactly.
And it's down the other end of the field.
Here maybe a foul on the call? Or a foul call?
Yeah, I knew what you meant, don't worry. It's going to go back to Hauser, it looks like.
And the disc is back in.
Just swinging it around the back at the moment, going laterally perhaps rather than getting positive field position, and as a player on the ground, I think maybe just a collision. No harm, no foul.
No harm, maybe foul?
That is true, yeah. Nope, no foul.
No foul? As you see, just coming in at 4. Check throws it to Hauser. Hauser throws it deep. Has the space there. But Prunes is not going to let it come easy.
Yeah. I mean, I see it, but you've got to get that fading way over her head to the break side to get it past Prunes.
And Grisha on the other end throws it deep too. The wind catching it. Great box out position there. And it's a score for the Seagulls for the break. Off an unfortunate Childress injury.
You know what that means, don't you?
I think I do, but what does it mean?
Well, it's 7-all. Halves at 8. It's
Galaxy point.
I nearly swore there.
And here we have a Galaxy point. But Grisha, nothing to take it off. A beautiful chuck down the field. An even better field position there by number 36, Camilla. Realizing where the position is and getting into that space. That was amazing.
Yeah, just again talking about the box out there. Getting in position nice and early so the defender's on the back shoulders and they're always having to try to find a way to come round. It's awkward and it's difficult, and Seagulls make it stick for 7s. Score 7-7, please.
We have some fire emojis in the chat here, and yes, this game is fire. We are happy that you can be here with us to experience this moment, but we cannot do it without the donations to our Patreon. Please join us on our journey through this Patreon. Check out our page. Like Benji said, it only costs €4 a month, which is about a pint of beer, maybe a pano chocolate, wherever you're from.
I'll tell you what, in London, it's definitely not this. That's definitely a lot cheaper than a pint of beer, but might be about right for a pan of chocolate.
As we see here, wind picking up, Fabulous having to deal with the conditions, still coming out in this janky zone from the Seagulls. But they have some openings here, and let's see if Fabulous can find them.
Did you describe this zone as janky?
Yes.
All right, I'll allow it, yeah. At the very least, it's slowing Fab down.
And I guess I should reiterate, too, not janky in the sense that it looks unorganized, just janky in the look, and Fabulous just trying to decipher through it.
Yeah, it's just making you think and hold for a split second longer, just to make sure you're double checking exactly where all the defenders are.
As we see here too, Fabulous finding the zone right there, cutting through, letting it fly right on the end zone line.
Went for the full fat milk, but had to skim a little bit off, and on the pop into the end zone.
But I think that's a strip call, and that is a score for Fabulous to go up 8-7, and they take this Galaxy point.
Yeah, 8-7 halftime lead, but it is so tight. Could really easily see this swing the other way. Would you like some breaking news?
Yes, of course.
We have the finals, or the mixed brackets, confirmed.
Who do we have here?
On the top half of the bracket, Putty in first spot. Eurotrash with a big win in the last round, sneak up and snatch the 8th place away from Southern Hospitality. So Putty Eurotrash is on the top half of the bracket, as is Waitlist number 1 versus Ambush Ultimate Club from India. We will be streaming that game on Field 5 here next. In the bottom half of the bracket, the second seed, Krut, taking on Reading Ultimate, a team that historically they've had a little bit of problems with. And the other half of that bracket, Smog 1 up against Disc Connection from Germany. And we are streaming Krut versus Reading over on the yellow field behind us. Score updates from this round of games. You can see them on the screen there as well. Foy up 8-7 on Guayota. Is no good up 8-7 on Chevron Action Flash. Chak 7-6 on Mooncatchers. Clapham 10-7 on Fab. That is on the open brackets. In the women's brackets, Enroladas up 10-8 on Belgium. 3SB up 7-5 on Scram. And Prima Donna Girls, last I saw, were up on Panthers Wrocław as well. That is 10-5.
Breakside Murphy, and then floats that one out. Huge bid, gets the touch. What a grab! DV!
He's in a great spot. Now. He's in a perfect spot. Yes, his massive head has blocked everything. That was a huge play, but we have seen none of it. Finny, he's done it.
We believe mixed is the best for the sport, for the world. That's why we're making a global showcase, starting in Europe, made in Amsterdam. LTV. LTV.net.
So loads of tournaments happening, which you can attend either as a player or a spectator. You can find them on Ultical.
Hi, this is West. Me and my camera have been covering Ultimate Frisbee since 2012. 12, and now I've been working with Alti TV, streaming Ultimate Frisbee for you. And if you become a patron member, we can offer you more contents, especially those games that they are not live stream and they're happening at the end of the game. Half of it I can move and go in there and stream live. So become a member, go on Alti TV.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Ultimate TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Fireball summer, honeymoon lovers, seeing no colors. Love me all summer, making discovers under your covers. Go off, go off, go off. Go off, so go off, go off, go off. Go off. When you run it out, need to get unstuck, so go off.
Welcome back to Windmill in Amsterdam, brought to you by Alti TV here. Again, we are having a great time. Beautiful weather here. Windy now a little bit picking up. Still hot, still breezy, still loving life. Again, myself here, Corey So Straight with Benji Reeves. And yeah, looks like things are just about to kick off now. So we see here we are getting ready to pull. Fabulous coming out on defense. And it is Fabulous 8, Seagulls 7.
Yeah, on serve at the end of the first half. Nothing between these two sides.
And we are excited, Benji. We are going to wrap up the conclusion of this game here coming soon in this half. But the first half, if anything promising like it was before, we are in for a treat.
Yeah, so far, the game promised a lot. And yeah, it's not disappointed.
You see Seawald here. A little confusion between the Seagulls trying to figure out who's going to catch the disc. But they center it anyway, and they continue to go through. So move along here, get past halfway. And it's a deep shot. It's coming down fast. Oh, and it's just off the fingertips for the Seagulls. And now Fabulous have an opportunity coming off the half to go for a twofer.
Can I say the thing?
You can say it.
Trailing edge catches. Ugh. Just stick out the other hand or go for the clap catch. I don't think it was far out enough in front that it necessitated the trailing edge catch.
And as you see there, it did not pay dividends as Hauser has the disc coming out in the cup. And again, it looks like in that left boundary, right where she threw it, is an opening there.
Just floating that hammer over the top to Hostetler. And again.
And they are abusing that left flank for the Seagulls. Just continue to hit it right on that wing there. Hauser still with the disc, cuts it through. Hostetler throws it back over. Slicer through Hauser, and they continue to go. The disc does not stop as they're in the red zone now. Munga to Hausler. Hausler being a maestro within this team is mesmerizing to watch.
Yeah, really conducting the offense.
And that is close to being a break, but it's outside. Right now, Fabulous still working it around, seeing if they can find the windows here. Tempting stuff, really.
Can Seagulls come up with a vital red zone stand?
Fabulous still facilitating, looking around. On the edge of your seat, some might say. Trying to wait for that perfect throw, and they find it with a break to start the half. Fabulous go 9, Seagulls 7.
That's going to sting for Seagulls because they had the disc in the end zone. They just couldn't make the catch. And then Fabulous, cool as anything, just dink and dunk their way down the field like it was nothing.
And you can see there too, halftime proved pivotal for Fabulous as they got time to kind of dissect that zone there. Look at throws over the top, especially that left flank. They hit that twice in a row to get to half field and then just kept swinging the disc, swinging the defense, and found the window after maybe 20 throws or so.
Just clinical, isn't it?
It really is.
Shout out to Meta, who's my new favorite volunteer, for bringing me some Stroop waffles.
Love the Stroop waffles here. Sharing is caring. Yes, it is.
Let me tell you, no, it isn't. Unfortunately, I can't eat them because I'm commentating.
Even then, too, I must say, shouts out to our Windmill volunteers, too. They have been fabulous.
Yeah, the tournament does not happen without the hard work of all the crew and the volunteers here. So, yeah, I think it's always testament to to a tournament is how well they treat the volunteers, and the fact that so many people keep coming back year after year says a lot about Windmill.
It really does. And allowing us to come back here is a privilege in itself. You see Bruins with the disc. The Seagulls need some options here before it gets out of hand. And a tight grab to get it back around halfway. Bruins working it. Space, Lindy. Throws it up, and they are about in the red zone, the Seagulls now. Playing match. Fabulous are. And it looks like it's another injury call there as a bit of an innocent stomp.
Yeah, the two of them just collided, and the receiver was making the catch, and he's quickly checked back in.
Oh, in a tough grab, almost toe tapped it back in for another one. But the Seagulls turn, and Fabulous have an opportunity to go again for another break.
When you're working in near the end zone or in those tight spaces up the sideline, the accuracy has to be inch perfect. And that time, just thrown slightly behind to the wrong shoulder. Coming through, not quite the Callahan, but on the end zone line.
And Bruins with the score, and again, what she liked in getting that grab behind, snags off the poach D, gets a quick throw in the end zone, score for the Seagulls to make it 8-9, and almost a Callahan.
I love the focus there. If okay, it doesn't matter. Well, let's get ready. Let's play some defense, and just seeing that swing, that the handlers locked onto that swing. So coming off the stack there, charging through to get the block, really caught that swing handler unawares. And then just quickly popping it in. Good, brilliant defensive effort there by Seagulls.
Something amazing to watch. And they don't want to quit either.
Okay. So I used to live in Brighton, right?
Yeah.
If you've ever been to Brighton, the Seagulls in Brighton are fierce. Like, there is even the hint of food anywhere.
They are savages.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that is like a man with a fresh panini walking out onto Brighton Beach, and a Seagull's just like, mine, and just absolutely rips it away before you even know what's hit you.
So even though they're not from Brighton,
they're
Seagulls
from Hamburg. Yeah. They can, if they sense the opportunity, they're right there.
I always love that story, hearing it too. Savages. It's Fabulous. Continue to come back now. Waiting to get there, and it looks like the Seagulls come in match defense here. Close, but now they're at the halfway point. Hiedelhauser throws it to Hauser. Looks back to Heenenhauser. She throws it up. And it's Fabulous are right back in the red zone, I should say.
Yeah, Seagulls struggling to find a way to create consistent pressure.
And there they get burned as Fabulous convert to go 10-8 against the Seagulls. Seagulls there looking like they went match defense for the first time in a while. And just as we saw before in the beginning of the game, Fabulous continue to move it up the disc up the field, I should say, with ease there.
Seeing the Eurodisc flag flying in the background. The official disc supplier of Windmill this year.
And a great design they had for Windmill too. For the disc, I should say. So now the wind is gusting a bit here. You can see the trees move, the flags flowing. It's going to be interesting to see maybe the Seagulls take a different approach here. Maybe Fabulous stick to match defense or throw a little bit of a zone.
I was just double checking what the rules are for the brackets. Play out the current point and the game is finished. In the brackets and final, if the difference is less than 2, so it's equal or a 1-point difference, then you play a cap +1. So you need to keep yourself close. You can't get yourself too big a deficit because you don't give yourself the chance to come back.
And as you see here, the Seagulls, wind not affecting them at all. Takes about 3 throws, maybe 4, to walk down the field and convert that to go 9 to 10.
And this is what we're talking about. You have to keep touch with 10 minutes left in the game. Seagulls know that if Fabulous could get a break, then rather than being kind of fluctuating between 2 and 1, it'd be fluctuating between 2 and 3, and that's too much for them. So they're just keeping themselves within that margin.
Which is super important here too, as you said. Got to play to the end because of course you want to win here, but if you don't even have the opportunity to. So we see here both teams taking a little bit more time between points to talk about their strategies, talk about their communications, what's going to go on. As Benji said, each point matters, especially now that we're coming down to the wire here in about the 62nd minute of the game.
Yeah, it's so tight as you would expect in the brackets.
And the disc is up. Fabulous. Getting the disc now, centering it. Munga looking around. Still there as we see Childress is back on the field, but it is a turn from Fabulous and a golden opportunity. Grisher picks up the disc. Prunes has it now. No mark. Plenty of time. I don't know if you want to give this person that much time to throw.
Let me tell you, Corey, you do not.
And as we see here too, Lance with time to spare. Throws it to Prunes. Prunes looks. A defender's poached somewhere. And it's to the back of the stack, and it's a throw. And that is close. That is close. Seagulls are saying that is out of bounds.
Yeah, my initial instinct was that they hadn't managed to toe the line.
And here we see Fabulous continue to move it down now. They have a lot of work to go. And it's just another turn from Fabulous here. And the Seagulls in the red zone with time to spare. And Prunes' hands looking at Grisher. Has to throw it back to Prunes. But the wind takes that one, goes to Hausa. Childress still bobbling it, catches in her hands.
I mean, that almost caught her rather than her catching it.
Olivieri throwing out a foot there and a stop, not making it, but it's an S cut and it's down in the ground. The Seagulls have another opportunity. They just have longer to go.
The second it came out of Shenk's hands, she had her hands up in apology because she knew that that should have been a score, and instead it was way too far out in front.
A beautiful executed S cut in the back of the end zone there to try to score, but just, as you said, not executed well enough. The Seagulls keep playing it. Naj with the disc, throws it to Prunes. Grisha. Looking at Narns, not there. But it is there, Narns. Larry throws it up to Lind. And it's one-handed, not caught, a little bit behind, but it is a turn. And Fabulous call a well-deserved timeout for both teams.
Yeah, it makes sense. This point's dragging on a little bit, and Fabulous do not want to let them back in the game here.
Fireballs.
Take their time and step up. And a huge one goes deep. Becky has it in her cross, and it's a goal! My goodness, Elise Becker, you legend!
The break side, Murphy, and then floats that one out. Huge bid, gets the touch. What a grab! DV!
Help Electric become a member.
And we are back here. Interesting. I don't know what Milan was riding on in that promo. Did you see? Maybe a skateboard, the longboard he carries sometimes?
Hoverboard.
Hoverboard.
Not one of those fake hoverboards, like actual Back to the Future hoverboard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we've cracked it. We're just waiting to bring it to mass market.
I love it.
It's a longboard.
For all of those watching here, we are back in the game. The Seagulls playing defense. And they're throwing out the jank zone, I like to call it.
Well, you can throw junk zones, so why not jank zones, I guess?
A little bit better than junk. Hauser with the disc at midfield. Fabulous waiting to get it into the red zone, but now they're getting pushed back to their own brick. About 67 minutes past in the game, excuse me. So you can hear the jingle go on.
Yeah, we started a little bit. Went down the wrong hole. Started a little bit late because the previous game overran slightly. So, is this one going to float out of the sideline? I was going to say, if you're Fab, do you slow play it a little bit so you can score after that jingle and then make it 11-9 game finishes? But now if Seagulls can go up and score, we're on Universe Point.
And here we are too. Nars with the disc, throwing it to the middle. Lind looking around. Is there any options here? Prunes is an option, always. Reliable.
Always.
As we see fakes being made, any cuts. A lot of defense, defense being played by Fabulous,
yeah,
especially in the cutters. Excuse me.
Sorry, Corey. I was just going to say, it looks a little bit timid downfield. Like, players maybe slightly reticent to make that cut.
And it might be fatigue here. Now we have the clouds and wind picking up, but before it was scorching hot. Again, you played multiple games today on top of the games you played earlier. But this is a high match. And Greaser just with a rare turn there.
Yeah, I don't know what she was looking at, but there was no one there. Miscommunication with Prunes, I guess.
And it looks like the Seagulls coming back to set up in that zone. Pacifico in this right boundary wide open, but that's across the field.
Yeah, and we've seen with the wind, those crossfield throws are getting more and more difficult. And I think Seagulls know that, and they're trying to bait it.
Here we see Fabulous taking their time, using a lot of passes to get into the windows. Sounding a little redundant myself here, but it's getting even too fast to count. This one's hanging up. Jasmine Childers there, and it drops, and it is a score, and that takes Fabulous 11-9.
And I think that makes it game.
I believe so too, as you can see.
Score difference isn't less than 2. Fabulous players celebrating, Seagulls players standing around, just trying to establish.
I think now players are trying to establish too, to see kind of what goes on.
I do have the relevant rule open if they need it. But they're just having the discussion.
And ultimately, that's what matters here. We can talk as much as we want, but we can't influence what happens on the field, as much as we like to think to. that we do, but
it's up to the players to. So the score. So the score's 11-9. So there we go, after some confirmation, hand slaps all round. So it will be Fabulous taking their place in the semi-finals with an 11-9 win over Seagulls. We've got mixed quarter-final action coming up for you next, so don't go anywhere.
Alti.tv.